YouTube.com/Tim Westwood TV. I want to welcome Questlove up in that building. What's up, sir? Good to see you, man.
What's good, man?
It's been a long time, brother.
It's been a while. Yeah, I was about to say.
It's been a long time, man. I remember we had one of the great shows many years ago when I first started at the station, and it was only out there on cassette, but it went around the world.
Yeah, with Rozelle.
Yeah, it was Rozelle, man. Crazy, one of the great. Was RZA in that day?
Yeah, and the RZA from Wu-Tang.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
One of the great shows, baby. So good to see you again, fam. Now, why is Questlove in the UK? What's happening?
You know, we have a show tomorrow at Hammersmith Apollo.
Great venue for you, baby.
Yeah. You know, it's good. Like, we used to live here in London, so
exactly. There was a time we used to just see you in clubs, baby,
all the time. Yeah, that's how we got our record deal.
Exactly.
Like, we came back here in '94. Lived in Kentish Town. So, it's been about 3 years since we've been over here, because now we have our late night television show back in the States. So, pretty much it's hard to pull away from that.
Exactly. Now, I remember when you were living in the UK, you just be in clubs. I remember, do you remember the club called the Borderline?
Yeah, I remember the Borderline.
Yeah, man. And there used to be like a rap night on a Wednesday there.
Yeah.
I think
Caspi freestyling.
Exactly, yeah, and DJ battles and stuff, like some real hip hop stuff.
Yeah.
I think it was called, was it Flavor of the Month?
It was Flavor of the Month.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I remember
279.
Exactly. Shout out to my man 279, still holding it down, baby.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, man. So yeah, why did you decide to live in UK? Just
I'm just during the time period, like, you know, at the time we were new, and the whole idea of live instruments and hip hop was a real foreign thing in the United States, and we felt we had to come, you know, like, the UK will always be seen as a mecca of creativity for a lot of American artists. Like, Jimi Hendrix did it back in the day. Like, a lot of artists will say, yo, I got to go to Europe first, get my thing together, and then come back to the States. So that's what we did. We just decided to take our publishing money, get a flat in Kentish Town, and we grinded it out. We lived here for about 3 years, and then we came home stronger.
And you know, UK is a cool place as well. Oh, yeah, a mixture of people, real.
Yeah,
real
I mean, cool. I still consider this my third home, man. That's why I was all up in arms watching the news, 2 weeks ago. Like,
crazy.
What's going on?
What is happening out here?
Yeah.
So you say it's your third home. First home,
Philadelphia. Yeah. I mean, now, you know, we live in New York because we do Late Night with Jimmy Fallon. I don't know if you guys get that over here, but it's like our version of like a late night talk show.
Exactly. And you are the band on that show?
Yeah, we're the band on that show. Yeah.
And that is a great look on national TV.
Pretty much. We, you know, everybody, like, a lot of established artists now want to come through and jam with us on the show. So we had Beyonce a few weeks back. We're on hiatus right now. When we get back, I know that Young Money is going to come over and do... And
jam with you guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And you were a lot of the driving force of MTV Unplugged as well, when artists would perform with a band.
Well, I mean, we did especially for Jay.
Yeah, you know? For Jay-Z, you smashed that down.
Yeah, that was definitely a turnaround period for us. Like, he's always been, you know, pretty much a big supporter of us. So he called us and had us do it for him. I mean, pretty much now, like, even though we're not in that position in which we can actively tour with artists, like, we pretty much have put all the musicians together for Jay-Z, for Eminem, for Wayne, for Drake, for I mean, pretty much anybody in hip-hop that does band-oriented performances, 9 times out of 10 they come through us first to get them their musicians.
Now, you are the drummer in The Roots.
Yeah.
You regarded as one of the greatest drummers in hip-hop and one of the greatest drummers of all time. Who would you say was one of the... who's some of your favorite drummers of all time?
Man, the list is endless, you know. I mean, drummers, it's endless. I mean, but I guess you could say the person that I look up to the most is actually not even considered a drummer, but to me, the late great Jay Dilla was like definitely an inspiration for beat makers. Like, he was that thin line between beat making and musicianship. that all the Maverick musicians looked up to. So yeah, definitely the late
great Jay Dilla.
Yeah,
may
Jay
he rest
Dilla.
in peace, man.
Yeah.
Never really had his fair shine, to be honest, considering his greatness.
some of the people that inspire people never make it to the mountaintop, but they last.
Yeah, forever. Now, Kanye West was in town with. I caught up with him at the Big Sean show, and we were talking about like the tour, Watch the Throne, and he's going out with the band, and the one thing he said, the one thing he would not take with him on the road is a drummer.
Actual human beings.
Exactly. He will not take a drummer. He will take the guitars. He'll take keyboard players. He will have a band, but he will not take a drummer.
Well, I've seen his show at various stages. I mean, the fact that there will be other human beings on the stage
is a major
him
achievement.
Will be
amazing. Even that other human beings, Jay-Z.
That's all growth. Yes,
that's all growth. That's all personal development, isn't it? That's all dealing with some real issues out there. But he will not take a drummer on stage.
I mean, I can understand, because sometimes like drummers. The thing is, when you're playing hip hop, especially with musicians I work with, you gotta check your ego at the door.
Exactly.
And a lot of times, like, musicians have this itch that they gotta scratch, and that itch is doing something fancy and outlandish to let you know, like, hey, I'm on stage too.
Exactly.
And hip hop is very repetitive, very loop based, very in the pocket.
Exactly.
So.
And you drummers are not only undisciplined, you have a tendency to take it to church.
Right, church drumming, gospel drumming.
You take it to church, baby. Suddenly
See, I'm
you
an anti-gospel drummer. See, that's the thing you got to know, though. I'm straight. I'm breakbeats. That's why I get the big bucks, because I know how to be disciplined with it. But yeah, I've seen drummers in the aftermath of doing a show with Kanye, like, yo, man, he put me on the stage. He told me don't come on tonight, and he told me to, like. Crazy stuff, but I get it. I mean, like I saw a few of the warm-up shows for when Twisted Fantasy came out, and I mean, he was holding it down with his drum machine on stage. So
hell yes.
I got it. You know, it's still an effective show. He's entertaining. But
I find drum machines a lot cheaper to hire. Let's go with the roots, baby. We have my good friend DJ La Rizzle. What is your question for Questlove?
Yep. Quest.
Yeah.
Tim was teasing me.
Oh man, I mean, did you see how familiar that was? Just Quest with a bit of yo feeling. He's taking to church himself, isn't he? He's going to church himself, baby. Right, sorry, Riz.
Tim was teasing me a little earlier for admitting on air that I have a girlfriend, right?
Okay.
Right. And not being afraid to admit it, and not endorsing being a gallus, so to speak, going after the girls.
Right.
So I want to know, for you as a drummer, is it about the relationship or is it about the girls?
Well, I think the first question is, do drummers get chicks? It's the first question, because he's on the back row.
All right. So the question is whether or not
relationships or no relationships, basically.
Yeah.
For you as the drummer,
I'll be honest with you.
Are you hitting the skins when it comes to a drum set, or are you hitting the skins after the show?
I'll be honest with you, like, just from what I've seen, and like, I'm not afraid to show my age. Like, this is like 17 years since he and I last spoke. So
wow.
I've seen stuff. I think you should just be honest with yourself.
Yep.
And people often say, like, well, okay, this is all I want, and I'll just cap it right here. And then once they get that, then they want more and want more and want more.
Okay.
And so I'll say that I've heard many cats just say, like, oh, this is all I need, and I got my support system, yada, yada, yada. I'm just going to say, be careful for what you ask for, because the grass is always green on the other side.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
And I support, I support the whole, like, okay, monogamy, one person thing and whatnot.
Yeah.
But, once you're put in that situation of the industry, that's where you're going to be in.
All I can say,
be careful what you ask for.
Yeah. All I can say, Questlove, I don't understand a word you said then. Now, we have Yo Radio. You've got a quick question, baby, because we're out here in 40 seconds. What's your quick question?
You started in the music game in the age of 7.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what advice would you give for upcoming artists to make it in the
Two
music
things,
industry?
and this is real. Whatever you want to do, 10,000 hours of practice.
Okay.
That means 4 to 5 hours uninterrupted every day.
Treat it like an Xbox. Go on, next question.
Yeah, you got to be. Yeah, I mean, there's something that you have passion about that you at least do for 3 to 4 hours every day. Your craft has to be that.
Okay, we've got 10 seconds left. What's the second thing?
Just don't give up, which is easier said than done.
Inspiring words. That's all for Questlove. Thanks for hanging out. Jam up next.
YouTube.com/Tim Westwood TV.